does. So this one's going to be a little bit different of an episode for anyone listening. I don't usually have an official intro yet, but welcome to the show. And for those who are only listening, you don't see it quite yet. And those seeing, you might be like, what the hell's going on? A little miscommunication on my part. We got a live interview going on this time with a Miss Olivia Culbert.
Ooh,
so,
hi.
Thank you for coming on to the show today. And sorry for the whole mishap, but should be fine.
No, yeah, this is going to be great. I hate online conversation, so this is going to be good.
Good. So, Olivia, do you have an official title right now that you care to go by? And if not, that's fine too. What would you like people to call you as of today?
Olivia.
Olivia?
Yeah.
Is there a title you hope to have one day?
A PhD, doctor.
Doctor in what?
Astrophysics.
Any particular kind of astrophysics?
Observational.
What does that mean? Like, aren't all astronomers looking out in the sky and looking for stuff?
No, there's theoretical, which are stupid. No, they're really smart, but like it seems really boring and hard.
What do theorists do?
Equations. I don't know. I don't want to be like an Albert Einstein and just sit and like.
The idea of it has never got you excited.
No, it's like the idea that comes to mind is like a chalkboard and you like sit there and you're like, I want to kill myself.
Why is nothing working?
Why was this not working? And then you have a experimentalist prove you wrong anyways, so then you're like, God damn.
And you go back to the drawing board again.
Yeah.
Are there certain things that you want to observe, or do you know what kind of things you want to do?
Gravitational waves.
Oh.
So there's a LIGO, which is laser interferometer. Some.
This is on the test.
Yeah. And it's this big apparatus, giant, miles long, that like can detect gravitational waves from like black holes merging or neutron stars merging, and it's very cool, very novel, very new, so I can get in easier.
Because there's less competition in that idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is my idea.
And
if that's true or not, I don't know.
You'll find out somewhat soon.
Yeah, that's my idea, is that since it's fairly new, and then there's going to be a new, I forget what they call it, but there's going to be one in space, which is insane.
Really?
Yeah. They're going to be like 3, and they're all going to be orbiting the Earth, and it's very precise, and it's very insane that we can do that. And that's like going to be in the next like decade or 2. So it's like, it's a new thing. It's not like nothing's happening, you know.
It's not just waiting for you to show up and finally break the gate open.
Yeah.
For those who might not really know what an abstract gravitational wave is, are you able to describe them at all?
Yes. So imagine like 2 giant things, so like black holes. They're circling around each other, and then they're like falling in, and they go faster and faster as they get closer, and then they like, and the spinning actually causes the fabric of space-time to compress and decompress like a wave, and it goes. So like if you are in a gravitational wave, you will get like taller and skinnier and shorter and fatter. Like you will move yourself, but it's like not even the amount of like an atom is how much you move.
So I'm not
like you're not gonna feel it, but like you're not gonna be like one day like I feel taller for some reason, but it's like.
So the days I feel bloated, it's not because there's a gravitational wave going through.
Yeah. But it like moves material, which is crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And why should I care about that? Like me as someone who's on the outside.
It's really fucking cool. Usually for stuff like that, they say like, this is where gold comes from, and people are like, ooh, gold.
Well, gold's shiny me like that. Ooh. Now I care. They're money now.
Yeah. I don't really know like a application of it right now. Of like, my guess would be like, you can tell how far stuff away is. Like, you can look deeper into the early universe. stuff like that.
Cool.
Which is just cool. I think it's something, just being cool is enough.
Yeah.
To do it.
Keeps you inspired and you want to keep doing it.
I don't need to be like, you specifically will benefit. Like, no, it's just cool. Yeah.
So, on your journey to get to be that type of astrophysicist, what kind of schooling are you in currently?
I am an undergraduate of the University of Arizona.
Bear down.
Just for astronomy. But it's very physics-based, so it's like astrophysics. It's almost an automatic physics minor, which is crazy.
So you're gonna get one in the end once you graduate. You'll have the astro major, physics minor.
I declared it 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a meeting with my advisor and I was like, "Isn't this?" And he's like, "Yeah, you just need to tell me." I'm like, "Yeah,
gotcha.
We'll do that." And then after that, I'm going into the Space Force.
You do your undergrad and then you go into Space Force.
Yes, I'm going to do officer training school, which you need to have an undergraduate degree to do. I couldn't do ROTC because I'm a transfer student and I'm only here for 3 years, and ROTC is a 4-year program. So I would have had to double up for a year, and I didn't have space in my schedule to do that, or money to do that because it costs money. So officer training school is like an 8-week kind of program, kind of boot camp. Slightly nervous because people who don't go through basic training, apparently they're like, you're a loser because like you
didn't do what they did.
But like, who cares? I'm gonna be buff anyways. I'm gonna work out.
Hell yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I caught there, some people might think, oh, shouldn't you be getting paid to go into military stuff? So if you were to do the ROTC thing, that's actually something you have to pay, like a fee to join kind of thing?
Honestly, I don't remember. But yeah, you do. It's like a class. So it's like credit.
Gotcha.
So you have to pay the credit like a regular class. And then you automatically have a contract after you graduate for like 4 years or something. So you have to serve. But I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong, but you get the benefits of being like enlisted in the military.
Once you finish that program.
Yeah. No, like while you're doing it. The ROTC.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like, I think, yeah. It's been so long since I thought about it, because I looked into it like when I started here, which is 1.5 years ago, so I don't remember.
So do your research about it. We don't know.
I just remember that I couldn't do it.
Gotcha. Something about it said no.
But now it's like coming back to me. I'm pretty sure like it's not like you're just wasting money. Like you get stuff. You get a stipend or something. I don't know.
And the one trigger word, I didn't know this was a real thing. I thought it was just the imagination of some weirdo. So
sorry.
So the Space Force is real.
Yes, it was already real. It was part of the Air Force, like how the Air Force was part of a different branch that I can't remember, and then they separated. It was part of the
Navy?
Yeah, I think it was the Navy, and then it was Space Force was already a thing, but it wasn't called the Space Force, and it wasn't a separate branch.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's fully fledged its own thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It feels really gimmicky though when you look on the website. It's kind of embarrassing. Like,
you got this whole theme.
The logo is literally the Star Trek logo, and then like there's ambient space music when you're on the website, and when text comes up, it's like the Matrix green text that goes. I'm like.
Well, now I have to look at it just for fun.
It's so dumb.
It's just like just spaceforce.gov kind of thing.
Stupid. See, that's literally Star Trek.
I don't hear no music, but yeah, I can see how it's
there is. It was like...
Maybe for those that knows want to join, trying to get you in, they're like, oh, come here.
Yeah, and we're called Guardians
Naturally.
of the Galaxy. It's so dumb. And honestly, this is the reason why Trump thought of buying Greenland, is because there's a Space Force base in Greenland.
Interesting.
So that's what I think. He was like, Space Force? And then he's like, oh, Greenland.
Connect the dots.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. You do your officer training. are you gonna get a PhD in the end through that, after that? Like, how do you become Dr. Olivia?
Okay, so I don't look into stuff. My boyfriend does, because I am not that girl. It stresses me out, and I hate it. So I'm like, hey, look, can you, like, look into this? And he's like, yeah. And then...
we love a supportive boyfriend.
Yes! If you have that support, it's awesome. If you don't do it yourself, you have to, but I am very lucky. But there are avenues in the military, in the Space Force, to get a higher education.
Okay.
I don't know what they're called. I just know that they exist.
I wait for my boyfriend to give me my letter that says do that, and I do it.
Yeah, no, I make my own decisions, okay? He just, like, researches stuff for me. So there's, like, different stuff. And then there's also, like, after your PhD, there's, like, a NASA fellowship that I saw a lot of people have. And I was like, look that up.
Add that to the list.
Add that to the list, and he's like, you have to, it's after your doctorate. So, yeah.
Does your secretary know if that's like a typical if that's like a typical route for the kind of observational astronomy you want to do?
I don't feel like it's very normal, because when I bring it up, people are like, oh, that's smart. Like, I don't think it's a normal avenue. Like, I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to serve my country. Like, it's not my passion, it's not my desire. It is literally just a springboard to further my career. It is experience, it is prestige, it is money, it is benefits, it is that.
That answers my next question of, like, so why do that extra step in the middle kind of thing?
That. Literally just that. It's, looks really nice on a resume. There's so many scholarships from, like, senators that have passed, and they make a scholarship in their memory, and if you're like, I'm going into the military, they're like, ooh.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's, like, very prestigious. Like, people like the idea that you are going to serve your country, whether you want to or not. You don't need to say that. Like, just pretend that you do when you're writing
Thumbs
these.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, just pretend that you do when you're writing these essays and stuff. Be like, I love my country.
I could spell the USA.
Yes. Yeah, USA. Cut that, please. That was stupid.
We're keeping that. No. That's how we start the episode.
No.
USA.
God damn it.
Does that delay you much? Like, how many years you have to do that contract work before you can even start doing any PhD sort of thing?
I haven't looked into that. It's concurrent. Like, you can do it at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know how long I'm gonna be there. I don't know if it's, like, a 4-year contract, 6, 8, but, like, I'm foreseeing I'm not gonna go past that. I'm not gonna renew.
You're gonna do the one contract. Okay.
Yeah. But, and then after, I don't continue my PhD, my graduate, however long that takes. And then hopefully get into LIGO, gravitational waves.
Or whatever things exist by that time.
Yeah, yeah.
So, why did you pick the University of Arizona for your undergrad?
It's twofold.
Okay.
First, my boyfriend used to live in Mesa.
Oh, here he is. He's back. He came back in.
He's back. He was literally like, don't move for me. Like, don't go to University of Arizona. And I'm like, fuck you.
Like, I'm doing exactly that now.
Yeah. But it was, like, such a weird, like, perfect thing where it's like, yeah, I'm, like, moving for my boyfriend, but also, apparently, it doesn't seem like it, but the University of Arizona is #1 in the nation for astronomy, according to, like, the National Science Foundation. There's so many, there's, like, we're in the top 20 for NASA-funded activities and, like, research and projects, and, like, top 20 for research in general for astronomy, so that was also, like, it's #1, babe. It's just perfect. And also my brother lives here. Like, it was good. Like, I knew people here already from visiting my brother. My boyfriend lived in a different town close by, and it was a good college for it. For research, specifically.
It worked out pretty perfect.
Yeah. It's great. Don't move for a boy. Or a girl.
You have to really luck out.
Yeah. Like, if it makes sense for you, do it. But, like, don't just for... If it's just for a person, no.
Wise words.
Yeah. Like, my boyfriend had a football scholarship, full ride to college, but then he moved to where his girlfriend went at the time, to NAU.
Yeah, go Lumberjacks.
Yeah, like, you're stupid. But then if he didn't do that, he wouldn't admit me.
So he's smart for them. Good job, you.
Yeah.
Now, you brought up kind of an interesting facet, I guess, for lack of words. You're in the astronomy program that is #1 in the country, but, and I quote, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
I have been through it a little bit myself, and I have similar opinions on it. You know, we're not here to bash the degree, but I think it's important to know how there's two different sides to anything, that there's the perspective that the program can give out to people and others can receive it and go, oh yeah, that sounds great, it's perfect. And then there's those that are on the inside experiencing it, going through it, having their own expectations for what #1 feels like. So what is it so far in your educational career that makes you hesitant to give it the #1? Like, you just don't feel like this is it for sure. I understand why everyone says it.
And I'll also say why I do think they say it's the #1. So I feel like if you want to do, like, if you love labs and stuff and, like, working with equipment, the equipment is, like, from the 1960s. A lot of the times last semester, my partner and I didn't have the thing that we needed. Like, one time we literally didn't have, and we had to, like, work with a different group. And then, like, they don't work. They're really hard to use. It's, like, stuff is broken. I'm like, for #1, why don't we have the funding, like, we're #1 and get new equipment that at least works? Like, it doesn't need to be state of the art. It needs to be, like,
it's functional.
operable.
Let's have it work.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Another thing is, like, and I feel like a lot of people say this with a lot of majors, but it just seems like the path is, like, really confusing. Not confusing, it, like, the order of way things are doesn't make sense. Like, why do I get having to take an intro classes, but then when we take, like, an intro quantum, and then I'm going to take a 300 level quantum, they're going to be like, everything you learned in the 200 level is irrelevant. So it's like, why?
So there's some redundancies in it, and not quite. It's not always like, hey, here I'm at level 1, I did that, cool, I'm at level 2,
and it builds on.
I do that.
And it's like you are learning different things, but I don't like the, like, complete is noxing a word? Nixing? The complete nixing of what I did last semester. It's like, then what was the point? Yeah.
Makes all your previous time feel kind of...
Yeah. Oh, and then the fact that we only have one advisor for both astronomy and physics who's... he's not going to watch this. Like, who's just a computer science major, so he doesn't know anything. He's screwed over a lot of my friends and love, like, over scheduling them for a semester, and then they have to retake, like, because they did bad, because they made them do 2 labs, and it was crazy.
Hopefully by the time this episode's out, there'll be more than one advisor. That has been an issue. You never know. Could be over here. That has been one thing that's been, talking to all kinds of other classmates and stuff, that's been a huge kink for a lot of people, is that there's only one person, and it's a pretty large major. And
it's a growing major.
Yeah.
Every semester I go to, like, the astronomy club and the new student welcome, and he's like, it's a growing major. We're getting more and more people, and it's like, it's staying the same. If it's growing, the major also needs to grow to accommodate. Like, this semester, people were, like, worried that they weren't going to get into their classes because there wasn't a physical space to hold everyone. I'm like, why do we only have one section? Make 2 sections at different times so we can, like, it's like stuff like that. It needs a whole revamp.
So it seems like while the astronomy department is number one, it doesn't necessarily feel like that attitude, that model trickles down to students necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, you don't always have the supplies you need. You may not always have the help you need. So what's the positive side? What's the, oh, I see why it's number one, or this sucks, but at least.
Yeah. And I want to add to that, it's more like, it's not the people inside the department, it's more the university is, in like all universities, the first thing to get cut is like the arts, and then the sciences don't get as much funding and everything goes to football. Like, it's like that. It's not the people inside. So I will say a good thing about this school is it's very research heavy, if you want to go into that. There's a lot of opportunities for research. The way I got mine is I literally asked my professor last spring. I was like, hey, you mentioned you do supernova research. Do you need help? And he's like, he's like, I usually don't take undergrads. And I was like, I will do literally anything. And I made like an Excel sheet over the summer, and I couldn't do anything last semester because my schedule was crazy. But this semester, I'm really going to start doing research. And, yeah, like, people are, and professors are more than happy to, like, bring you in, even in a small way. And that's, like, amazing to get your foot in the door.
And for some who might be wondering about doing astronomy, physics type degrees, is research something everyone does? Is that for just some people?
No. And I don't know much about the other ones because I, like, was like, I'm doing research. So, there's, like I said, there's theoretical, which I don't really, like, it's a lot of math, it's a lot of, like, deriving equations. I don't know, it's, like, very math heavy. And then there's experimental, which seems really cool, but I hate it.
Don't like the process.
I hated my labs, and it's really hard. It's, like, machinery and, like, honestly just trying to disprove what the theorists think is right. Like, that's the whole point of or prove it. It's like a real world application of what the theorists come up with, pretty much. Of, like, you're trying to get either prove or disprove what they put in their math or whatever.
So you'd rather find phenomena that theorists have to describe in certain ways and experimentalists have to try and prove and disprove. Like,
me?
Yeah, is that kind of how the observational person would fit into that kind of equation?
I don't think so. To me, observational is just like I'm doing supernova research stuff, so it's like we look and make sure that this thing is a supernova. Like, it's photometry, it's using JWST, which is a space telescope. Kind of what Dr. Sand is doing right now is looking at the dust, at cold dust, to see there's like a discrepancy with the theoretical. Actually, yeah, there's a discrepancy with like the theoretical models. There's like about 2 solar masses difference of how much dust should be around these things, and that we can't find. So it's like one of those, like, yeah, it's kind of...
Try to find the gaps.
That is true. God damn it. Hey, you're right.
I know some things.
Yeah. But it's not as much as an experimentalist to me. Experimentalist is, like, in the lab working with, like, machines and, like...
You're more with
Hadron colliders and...
You're more with, like, for lack of words, softer data in that sense.
Yeah, like software, like looking at the star and being like, ooh.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Being like, why? And then, or what, honestly, is more the question at first. Is like, what's going on, and then why?
So you're doing your degree. Do you also have a job while you're doing your degree?
Yes. I have a work study at the chemistry and biochemistry building as just like data entry for the advising people. Very easy breezy, boring, but that's good because I don't want to be stressed out. So
yeah, I think there's a goodness to boring jobs, and you get to have your mind be free and think about things, or just exist for a little while and still get paid.
Yeah.
And so you got schooling, you got the job. Does that feel overwhelming to you? Does it feel like each semester is a new roll of the dice because you're also doing research too. So is this a lot on your plate? Does it feel manageable? How do you feel?
This semester is very manageable, but I'm going to talk about last semester first because that was crazy. I was taking 16 credits, which isn't, it's like a lot, but then you get this imposter syndrome when you have friends who are like taking 21 credits and you're like, why am I struggling? But it's also like, it's life. People can handle what they can handle. Also, most of the time, my peers are taking gen eds as well with their classes. I'm taking full major courses because I'm a transfer student, so I have all of my gen eds covered. So they're taking, like, some of them are music majors, they're taking music classes, they're taking gen eds, and then they're taking their science classes, like science classes, I call them.
Well, that's what they are.
Yeah, like the major
The deep stuff.
Yeah, the heavy, stupid stuff. I was 5 classes of STEM. Hard. 300 level, 200 level. Craziness.
That would be a lot to take.
And then I could only work 6 hours a week. My boss is very flexible, and she's like, you're a student worker, student first. Like, so I was like, I can only work 3 hours these 2 days. And it's like, I really did nothing. It was great. But it was very stressful that semester. But, you know, you get through it with B's and C's, and then you're like, I did what I could.
Good enough. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Still have a 3.0.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah. I did have a 3.2, and then I dropped to a 3.0. And then meeting with our advisor, I was like, I need awards. I don't know how to say this nicely. Like, I need accolades and awards because the scholarship I applied to, the Goldwater Scholarship, is for research. And they had a section of like awards and accolades and accomplishments, and I couldn't put anything because I didn't have anything. So make sure and it's hard because I'm a transfer student. So this is only my 3rd semester here. It was only, like last semester was my 3rd semester. So it's like hard to get the ball rolling quickly.
As far as getting accolades and such?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I always feel like I'm behind. In terms of, because I've only been here for 3 semesters, but most of my peers started here, and even though we're at like taking the same classes, we're at the same level, they've been here for longer because they had to do their general classes, so they've had more time to network and get to know people.
I see.
To get those awards, get nominated for those awards, get into research, so it's like. It's very hard to be a transfer student, but it's also very beneficial because community college is very cheap. I got mine for free back home, and yeah, like it's a good avenue, but it's also like a unique perspective, and you have different struggles than your peers.
So it's like you're taking classes with other juniors, but you feel like a U of A freshman.
Yeah, genuinely, yes. Yes. Very much that. And that affects like my knowledge in stuff like Python and coding and like just general knowledge of what I need to do for research. So it's going to be very hand-holdy. They're going to be holding my hand and I'm going to be like, yeah. I'm like, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. And also, it's like my last semester as a junior, I need to start applying to RUs, which are research experience for undergraduates.
Okay.
I'm applying to one right now. It's for like all summer, and it's in like San Francisco. It's really cool. There's like a bunch of different people to like work with. So there's not just like, it's not just for supernova, it's not just for exoplanets, like there's like a bunch of people you could work with. Those are really great. What was my point? If you're a transfer student, start looking into that right away, like immediately.
Our research experience for undergrads, those REUs, are those different from like how you got the research with Dr. Sand? How are those different? Like, how are those two different research types different?
The REUs are more like a boot camp vibe. It's like over the summer, it's like 8 weeks or 8 to 10 weeks. You usually go somewhere out of the state, or there's probably some in-state, and you work with people on a short project. I would say research more in the University of Arizona is you're working with your professor or someone that you like took a class with most of the time, or someone you found through networking, whatever. And you can get credit for it. I'm doing a directed research and I get 3 credits each semester if I do it. And you have to, it's almost like a job. You have to get an average of 10 hours a week because we're based on credit hours. So it's like you need to do so many hours a week to get 3 credits. And then depending on the researcher, you do like a presentation at the end or like a poster fair, do a poster board. Yeah. And then it's not just a one-time thing. You can do it again the next semester, it's not just a 8-week, you're done.
You can have it be like if you're lucky to find it, your freshman or sophomore year, you can have it be your whole career.
Yeah, yeah. And you can be a part of a published paper, like be an author. Yeah, yeah. That's what one of the goals that they want for me is to do a lot of good work so I get higher up on the author list for the paper. And
some might not even know what's the point. What do I care about writing a paper? Why, if I'm you, or it's you, why do you want to be on papers? What are papers for? Like, what, you're just writing an essay about what you did?
It's pretty much, and you're not the only one writing it. It's like a scientific collaboration. It's a scientific research paper. It's pretty much like an accolade. It's like an accomplishment, which is like validation for yourself and also showing people that you know what to do. For like scholarships, for applications to grad school, it's showing that I've done research and I've done good research to get my name on a paper.
Gotcha.
It's an acknowledgement of your work.
And do they show all the authors' names? Do they suffer from the et al. Thing at all?
Like on the paper itself, they do. The et al. Is like for citations, so you don't write the whole thing. But the farther up you are, the more work you did than them. Oh,
it's quantified to be who's generally like the most amount of the research, not necessarily writing the paper. It's whoever's for this whole project. The person who did the most stuff gets their name first.
Yeah.
And then descending order.
I think so, yeah.
Gotcha. And amidst all this stuff that you're doing, you've got all of these classes, all this research, this job, all this blah. Do you feel like you have time to do anything else? Do you feel like you get to be Olivia? You get to turn off the clock and go play? You get to go hang out? You get to whatever kind of hobbies? Do you feel like you have that avenue?
Yeah. Well, last semester was really like to the grindstone. Like I filed my fingers off. But you were very helpful. You like planning little parties, and that was like my only socializing activity, my enrichment activity for the semester.
This daycare comes with enrichment opportunities.
Yeah. Very expensive daycare. It's honestly the same as daycare. Like, daycare's crazy. But this semester, I'm very excited. I'm only taking 3 classes and then directed research. So I have time to prove myself to Dr. Sand, because I feel like I've left a lasting bad impression on him. When I wrote my proposal, he had me write like a little paragraph. And he was like, "This is actually good." He was surprised.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, because he was like the grad student, she was like, "Send it to me first," and he was like, "No, I want to see what you come up with, your own." And he was like, "This is actually good." I like saved that email. I'm like, "This is like, I'm gonna frame it." It's great, having that validation. So now I feel more confident going into this research. I have time to do it and do it well, and then I also have time to do class. I'm like, I'm gonna get all A's in my classes so I can bring my GPA up, and I have time to do it and really apply myself, and then I also have time to have fun.
What does fun look like? We do these podcast episodes, and
Yeah.
we're talking about all the blah and blah, and some people might be listening and go, well, damn, the college experience kind of, at least for astro and physics people,
In
it kind of
STEM.
sucks. Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like STEM. Why would I want to go into that? Like, yeah, I like the stuff, but it sounds grueling for 4 years and then 6 years grad school
Yeah.
and then postdoc. So what's
Well,
fun for you?
What I will say to that is you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. People need to be uncomfortable more. This is something I've been thinking the past couple weeks. Is uncomfortability is what drives success, pretty much. Like, you need to do the things that you don't really want to do, but you need to do it to be good.
It's still good for you.
It's still good for you. Being uncomfortable is good for you. I feel like in today's age, it's very easy to be like, I'm going to do what feels good always. And it's like, that's not good for you to only do what feels good in that moment always. You know? But what was your question?
What do you do for fun?
What do I do
you
for
get
fun?
You finally get to turn off the school clock, and then you're like,
Yeah.
I get to. What do you like to do? Hobbies.
It's nice
fun
having
times.
someone who is like schedules a party, little dinner party. Like, that was really nice and is nice because you're still my friend.
Well, I guess we are now. I wasn't sure.
To have that in the, like, something scheduled. And then there's also like the, hey, what are you doing right now? Like, do you want to just like walk around, or like, do you want to study together? Is honestly great because you help each other do homework, and then you have like a 5-minute yap session, and then you're like, okay, time to like go back. Because it's not good to just like be doing homework for 3 hours straight. You need a break.
Yeah.
You need multiple breaks. And I love roller skating. I didn't get to roller skate last semester, and we're gonna go in 2 weeks, next week. I don't know. That's my favorite. I have my own skates that have light up wheels.
No
I
shit.
was like,
God damn, I'm gonna look like an idiot with the stupid rentals on.
yes. I love me time too. Me time, it's not like fun, but it's like, it is fun. I love doing yoga at night. I have like a whole routine of a wind down at night. That is very necessary. Very necessary.
You feel a huge difference whether if you don't do it, like, you just suck at sleeping isn't good on you.
Yeah. And it's like
Like enriching? Does it feel something different?
It's I can't think of the word right now. Hold on. I got it. I don't got it. It's indulgent. You need to be indulgent every once in a while. Not every night.
All the time.
All the time. You need to indulge in yourself a little bit. Like, do yoga, be active. I have time to work out this semester.
We're gonna make you buff.
Ooh, look at these. Okay, progress report.
We got 2-inch biceps.
Yeah, I love working out. You get a dopamine hit, you feel great, you're on a high, and you don't feel like a grandma.
Feel like a grandma at 27. You know?
Yeah. I'm a grandma at 22. I literally, this winter break, I literally did absolutely nothing for 20 days, which was great. I was very burnt out. But there was a point where I was like, I could start going to the gym. Didn't. I could have, should have. My muscles and my like feet and my tendons hurt from doing nothing. Because when you start doing something from nothing, it's like,
you shock it.
yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure my muscles atrophied. That's how hard I did nothing.
I understand. I went up some stairs the other day, and I was like, I gotta get back into cardio. Fuck.
Yes, I walked up the 4 flights of stairs to Dr. Sand's office, and I was like, I need a second.
Let's wait.
Whew. Remember when we played tag, and I was like dying?
There was 2 bouts where we got to kind of sprint. I got to sprint. She did a couple steps, and then
Yes.
and it was over.
I was like wheezing,
We took like 5 whole minutes.
salivating some
Yeah, you
reason,
kept spitting
like,
and stuff.
crazy.
I'm like, we just ran for 30 seconds and
My body didn't know what to do.
there's your lungs ready to leave your body, and then another friend of ours doesn't have working legs, and she's over there, my knees are ready to explode, and I'm just sitting there like, I'm no athlete by any means, and what is happening?
Yeah. I'm actually going on a walk with Chase today.
Oh.
Because I was like, we need to get him used to going to the gym. So we went to the gym on Wednesday morning, and then we were going to do it yesterday, but I was a DD the night before, and I was out late, so I was tired. So we're doing it today.
For those listening, the little Easter egg would be for Chase Cooper, who will be in another episode later on. So that's cute.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I like him.
Can't wait to work out.
Yeah, we're all going to get nice and healthy.
Healthy. Yes.
I guess the last question I have is the dummy. I hate them in a way, but I wanted to include one for any case. You get a redo. Any part, don't go before high school. Anything big or small, you pick a different school, you pick a different program, and yes, you know 1,000 things more now than you did then, but let's say you get to only remember one thing when you travel back in time and be like, oh, I gotta remember that I need to talk to this guy right away, or I need to make sure that, maybe I should start doing the ROTC thing.
Yeah.
Anything at all, what would you have done different if you could?
I would do, so back home after end of high school into my community college, I had no self-confidence of I can do a STEM major. So I just did a general studies associate's degree, which is just how it sounds. It's whatever you want to take. Just get to your 60 credits and you're good. So I didn't take any. I got to pre-calc, and then I didn't do a lot that would transfer over here, except for generals, a general class. So I would do more of that. I would be you're stupid for having no confidence. You can do this, and then be take classes that will help you in a 4-year college. Just take more classes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just wonder, do you know or remember what made you feel like you couldn't do STEM?
I think it was science wasn't really culminated in my high school. I went to a Catholic school, so it wasn't
there wasn't a lot of opportunity to
and it was also small, so it wasn't I had a lot of opportunities. So I didn't see myself, or I didn't have anywhere to prove to myself that I could do it. I just was taking classes like everyone else and graduated, and I was this is easy, but I don't know if I could do anything harder than this, which is silly goofy. Silly goofy. It was kind of the mindset of I'm comfortable here. And I'm scared of failure. I'm scared of being uncomfortable. So I will just get my associate's degree, get a degree, and I don't know, work in corporate for the rest of my life, even though I knew I didn't want to do that. Yeah.
And now that you're in STEM, do you still have these reservations? Do you feel like you your opinions are totally valid. It's not oh, that's not how it is, obviously. Yeah. But have you felt for any type of reason that either you feel like you don't have as many opportunities as you'd like, you don't feel like some people might think they're not smart enough to keep going with this thing, whether it's your own background, whether it's because you're a woman in STEM, has there been anything that's been in your kind of itching your brain of this is still kind of holding me back a little bit, whether it's reality or just in your mind?
I think it's myself holding me back.
In what way?
Mostly you have to do hard work, and I'm I don't need to. I could just, because part of it is with my high school experience and college experience, I was fine just doing the homework, barely studying for the test, and then getting A's. So having a challenge, a true challenge, where I can't just apply what I've been doing, which is just doing the homework the night before and studying. Like, you have to do more. And that's been a learning opportunity. It's been something that's been hard. And last semester, I kind of got, like, the slap in the face from Mazumdar. And he's like, I went in to look at my final, and he was like, the way you study avoids you getting an A. And I was like, you're right. Because I had him for 2 semesters. So I got a C in the first class and a B in the second one. And I just need to really understand the material, and that takes time and that takes effort, and that's something I'm not used to doing. But I'm doing it this semester.
That's good. So one thing to, I guess, for people to keep in mind for any of those transitioning from like high school to college, takes a lot more work to get to the A, and it's healthy to assume that A is not the standard anymore. When you're in high school, and it shouldn't be this way there either, but things are how they are, you kind of have A and then screwing up to whatever degree. Like if you got a B, you screwed up a little bit. You got a C, you screwed up a lot. D and F, you just totally bombed it. And A is like the only thing you can achieve in high school. That's not how you should feel, but that's how a lot of people interpret grades. Then you get to college, still having that mindset, and you get B's and C's because general effort gets B's and C's. Some D's even. You get some D's. I've got some D's on my transcript.
Yeah.
So
I don't have any D's.
Well, that must be nice. You stay over there.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
So trying to do that extra level, or really trying to interpret and understand material, is what gives you that A, and a lot of people have a tough time.
It's a learning curve. It's a big learning curve.
Yeah.
Because we grow up throughout the whole American high school experience of just being able to phone it in and be fine. And then even with like general classes in college, they're like almost the same, where you can just phone it in and be fine. And that doesn't work when you are doing I'm sure it applies to other majors, but in my experience, specifically a STEM major. It doesn't, you can't just like only do the homework and only study for the test. You have to understand the whole concept, the whole material, to do well on the tests, and to progress and do well in the next class. Attendance
isn't the only thing.
No. Even though it's huge, attendance is actually huge. You can't just like be passive.
Show up.
You can't just be passively participant. You have to actively participate. In class, out of class, and you have to be honest with yourself of how much work you're actually doing. I was doing a lot of work last semester, but I wasn't doing the right work. Yeah. Wow, I'm enlightened.
Welcome to Nirvana.
Yes.
So the last thing, I keep saying the last thing. For all 14 or 4 million people listening, do you have any little thing here's your moment to, you're on the spot now. Do you want to say anything at all? Like, hey, you can do it, or this.
That's literally what I was gonna say. Is genuinely from the bottom of my heart, you can do it. You can do hard things. People can do hard things. You can do uncomfortable things, and you just need to basically beat that part out of you that you can't do it. Part of the reason, this is kind of cringe. One of the main reasons, catalyst moments, that I applied to the U of A was I watched the first Top Gun, and that character Charlie, she like walked in like a badass, and she was an astrophysicist, and I was like, a woman astrophysicist, I can do it. I can do it. And then I love Contact, that movie. What's the actor's name? I love her. Jodie Foster as the main character. We just need more women in media being scientists, I think. And so people like me and other people can see themselves in them and be like, I can do it. I've wanted to do this since middle school.
Oh.
I remember there was like, during a homecoming week, there's like, dress as your career, like future self. I was like, what do astrophysicists wear? And it said, like, wear anything. And I was like, okay.
Just show up.
Yeah. I just wore like a suit. I don't know. But I've wanted to do this since middle school. So there's just something, I wasn't challenged enough through my high school education to believe that I could do it. I'm doing it.
Yeah, hopefully this helps inspire someone that they too will start doing it and that they can.
Yes, please. Do it.
Do it. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, Olivia. It was quite the pleasure. You spoke very well you seem like you've done millions of podcasts before and such.
Thank you. I watch a lot of them, so.
Good. Hopefully this will be on par of quality in the end.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yay.
Okay.
This was fun. Thank you.
For sure. And I guess we'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye for now.